Coach Vigen, congratulations on win number 50. That's quite an accomplishment. You guys took control of the game early and didn't let up. It was good performance.
Yeah, and you know how we want to play. We want our defense to set up our offense and special teams to be a factor, and offense to capitalize on those opportunities, especially the early going. That's what you saw. You know, not knowing exactly what they would do defensively, you know, against our defense with the two quarterbacks, I thought we did a phenomenal job of shutting all that down. And knowing there'd be aggressive, you know, on defense, we would have to take some shots, and by and large, we capitalized on that. So yeah, really pleased with the start, and then followed up with a really solid second half, get everybody in the game that could have get in the game. Really pleased with that performance.
And to not allow a touchdown like a viable offense like Eastern Washington, that's good.
Yeah. Credit to the staff, the players. They could present some real challenges with what they are capable of doing, and felt like our guys played really disciplined. When we play disciplined football and trust our teammates, and all 11 guys are doing their job, I think we can be pretty dang good, and that's what that showed today.
What do you think was most key to getting some of those deep balls completed today?
Well, I think a little bit scheme, being able to scheme some things up, and I think we have players capable of getting open. Justin, by and large, in those opportunities was on the money. I mean, they'd shown to be vulnerable to the pass, and we needed to take advantage of that. And I think for the most part, we did that, especially early.
On Hunter's touchdown, it looked like Chris kind of drew that safety away from him down in the middle. Did you feel like Chris's presence was pretty?
Yeah, I'd maybe need to take a look. I know it was wide open, and we hit a void. Justin hit him right in stride, and Hunter can run. I mean, that's probably the first time anybody has really seen Hunter get out and run. So, we got some, I think, impressive young athletes that continue to emerge, and Hunter's one of them. But we had a long list of those guys that are growing up, and it was great to see him make that play. And Justin did a good job of just allowing him to.
Justin connected with 5 different receivers for 25 yards or more in the first half. What does that say about your guys' offense and his play?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of guys that are capable of making plays. It's not like we have to go after one guy. We can spread the ball around. We can let the opportunities dictate where the ball goes. And if we can play that way and not worry about who's getting the ball, I think we'll have a chance to be pretty good. And Justin being timely and accurate, making good decisions is all a piece to it. So yeah, one of those games where everybody, for the most part, got involved, and certainly pleased with that, because I think we got more than just a couple guys that can make plays.
Let's talk about the reserves that came in. I was really impressed there. I mean, Kuhn gave you a nice boost, that kind of got the running game going. I thought your second string, third string defense, what have you, I thought was really good too. Good tackling. I just thought really a solid effort.
Yeah. That's guys really valuing the opportunity to get in there. If you're a second or third teamer, those opportunities, you don't know when they're going to come. Some of our guys rotate, some of them don't, and I think they really value that, and then they value their contribution to what that final score looks like. So for that group on offense to score a couple times, and defensively not to give up any points, and they got the ball, inside the 10 the one time, and we held them. So, yeah, fired up about everybody and their contribution today, and that's what we want this program to be. Everybody feels valued. Everybody understands that they got a role, and days like this where everybody can actually get out on that game field don't come around every week. So, I'm glad we got it, and I'm glad everybody took advantage of it.
Coach, what went into the decision to do the fake field goal?
Well, we were getting pressured quite a bit. It was in no matter where the score might be, I guess, and we were still that was whatever that pushed it to. I think it pushed it to 36-3. Ideally, we would have got the first down. We didn't have to do it, but it was a look that we felt like they were vulnerable, and it was good to execute it, because ultimately, being able to demonstrate you can do something like that, I think is important. And Colby's a really good athlete too. He could get up and go, which he did on that, and I think that was important, because if they get to stop there, and we got in a field goal block and all that stuff, we needed to grasp the momentum. That was really important, and that was a big play to continue that thought process.
Coach, it seemed like Bryce Greedy was all over the field defensively, especially on that first drive. Just your thoughts on his play today, the growth throughout.
Yeah, Bryce was. I know Bryce was challenged. With his play, with his consistency through the week. And I know this program matters a lot to him, and he took that to heart in his opportunity. He doesn't take it for granted. So, again, a young player. I mean, Bryce has played a bunch, but he's only a third-year guy. So, to see him take that coaching and then apply it on the field, and I hope we would walk away and say that's the best half of football he's played. That's what we need. We need guys that are continuing to get better, and pleased that Bryce showed up in a big way.
How do you balance the win of a special teams touchdown in that way against some of the special teams? You mentioned the block kick.
Yeah.
2 missed extra points.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't get everything, whether it's special teams, offense, defense. I know there's things we can coach off of, so we will do that. The fact that the score was what it was, we're not going to gloss over the things that need to improve. There's days where 2 missed extra points will kill you. It didn't happen today, but that will. So Miles will get that straightened out. It was good to see him do that within the game and get a couple more opportunities. The block, we'll have to take a look. That was a deeper field goal, which generally is going to come out a little bit lower. I don't know if we got a little too much penetration there, but we can't miss on those opportunities. So we'll figure it out and move forward and make sure it doesn't happen again.
And when you consider week to week, just so many more possessions this week compared to last Saturday, how much is that a credit to your defense and just how well?
Yeah, absolutely. You look up at that scoreboard. We have those stats that are there, omnipresent all game, and I know they had a real small number when it came to yards for quite a while. So the defense really set the tone, and didn't allow them to breathe. And offensively, we took advantage of that. 21-0 pretty fast, mostly because of the defense just doing their job and getting the offense the opportunities in the short fields and all that. So, that's the way you want it to look, where the defense, makes it really hard on them. And, a team like that, we found out last year, we scored and got up on them, but then they scored, and then it became really complicated because they could run the whole gamut of their offense. But you get up 3 scores like we did, as fast as we did, it becomes a lot harder for them.
Your defense this year, 10 points in the last 3 games, but it's just been so consistent. What can you say about just that?
Well, I think we're improving. Our first opponent was our first opponent, and ever since, I think we've taken that game even and learned some things. We were caught with some issues of not being able to tackle that day, not having leverage, and I think we've really taken that to heart. I think we've tackled really well. We've been in the right place by and large, and when we haven't, it's cost us here and there. So I think we're continuing to allow ourselves as players to be coached and to be to take the game plans and run with them, and really, I think more and more each game, just play team defense and understand what that means. And each week, whatever the offense does poses its own new challenges, and I thought we had a good plan for them and the potential for 2 quarterbacks. We really squashed that right from the start, and I don't know where they could go after that. And that was a credit to what we did, and didn't allow that to get going at all.
Taco motioning a bunch in this game. Obviously, a lot of motion from a lot of guys, but him especially on the touchdown and then on the 3rd down run that you had with him and Lamson. I guess, can you just speak to using him and all your guys in motion?
Yeah. I think using motion, using shifts, moving guys around, trying to blend run looks and pass looks. I think that's all part of offensive football. The chess game a little bit, and trying to create advantages however we can. And I think we've now we've had 5 games, and you got to take a look at, okay, here's all the places Taco's been. Let's keep moving around. Let's keep getting him as many touches as we can each week. And so I think we'll continue to do that. It took a while for the run game to get going, and that's I think that was partly just they're going to load it up, and we're going to have to make those plays in the pass game. But to finish, to finish 293 and 287, I guess that's balanced. It didn't look balanced for quite a while when you look at that scoreboard, but we got there. So, pleased with that effort, and I know it's Colson, it's Chance ripping off those runs in the tail end that really allowed that to happen.
do you have any kind of reflection on getting your 50th win and what that means, or what that means your program has accomplished over that amount of time?
Yeah, it's a credit to the players and the coaches. It's a credit to, the continued investment, in our program, the support we get from the top down, the support we get from all our fans. So it's our expectation we go out there every week and win, I guess, and to get to this point, to get this milestone is certainly something to be proud of. But it's the fifth game this year, and it's the third win this year, and we need to figure out how to get another one next week.
Rich, I don't know if you have an update on it, but I saw Caden go to the locker room kind of early in that game.
Yeah, he just wasn't feeling well. There was nothing, I know he went back in. We didn't have to use him much, but he just wasn't feeling well, unfortunately. So.